Terrence Djukamanja of Orlando Pirates, Cassius Mailula of Sundowns, and also Khama Billiat is nowhere to be seen. Saz Ginzagalani, Terrence as well has gone to. Apparently, he was going home. The next thing, Ghosts, Orlando Pirates, Cassius Mailula is off. He's no longer going to camp in Europe in the Sundowns. He's actually going to the US of A. Apparently, he's been linked with a club. Actually, Sundowns has actually made an official announcement that they actually are negotiating with a North American club. So stay tuned. That's what we're going to be talking about today. But welcome back. Hello, this is your boy Walter once again with another exciting episode about your DSTV Premiership news. You know, your top teams are always making news this week. So it's another episode, another video. I hope you guys have actually enjoyed the content we've been dropping so far. Thank you so much for the love and support. Let me give most of you guys a shout out because I know some of you guys are new. Some of you guys have been actually subscribing. Thank you so much. But before we go anywhere, that's what I wanted to actually mention. Please don't forget, again, because 90% of you guys who watch these videos haven't actually subscribed. So if you haven't, I'll give you a chance before we start. So don't forget to like once. Don't forget to subscribe. And also don't forget to click on that notification bell. So you'll be the first person to know whenever we drop a video. Yeah, so let's get to it. So this week, as you know, we're getting closer and closer and closer to obviously starting off with the new season. Seems like a lot of teams are wrapping things up, you know. Teams are finalizing new transfers, you know, players, negotiations, and all these things. And it's interesting the kind of moves other people are making, or other teams rather are making. Special shout out to Iswalos. Morocco Solos have actually also announced that they've actually partnered with eTrip, which is a local food brand or footwear brand. They're going to be their technical sponsors. Very interesting because Biva sponsor is Umbro. So we don't know what kind of idea that they're going to come up. I'm interested to know how the kit is going to be looking like. So Morocco Solis as well has actually signed a technical sponsor. And as you know, Andy Dechali has actually signed with them. So it's interesting. It's one of the older club in the league. So yeah, teams are actually beefing up, man. So it seems like this new season is going to be very interesting. It's not only about the top three, but there's also going to be Supersport as well. And you know, other teams, Telis as well, has been signing good players. So it's a good. It's actually good to see teams taking the league itself very serious. So yeah, let's get to it, man. Just to talk about what's been happening this week. Um, hey, Kaiser Chiefs. Let me start there because um, they obviously with the previous video I did cover who Caleb has actually left apparently or reported he's in Casablanca at the moment with that. What we don't know or what we've seen this week, apparently they are actually appointing a new coach. And this new coach now is saying that they should hold on the negotiations because he wants to have a hand in the kind of players or the type of players he would need. So now this freezes the negotiations a bit because obviously Kaiser Chiefs had agreed to their bid. But now we don't know what's going to happen because if they've already agreed, we don't know if he's leaving or not. Because remember, that foreign spot needs to be opened for them to sign players because we've heard Uvi Namaposa saying that they're not done. They're not done with no. If there's any truth to what he was saying, they're not done in signing. Because for me, they need a second striker. Lisedi Kapinga is available. We don't know about Igram Reynolds. He's not really available, but we don't know if they can afford him because with the money that they probably would use for Caleb, maybe would have been a cash injection to see if they can source out a striker. Maybe in Africa, because if Christian Maele as well, have heard that he's going to be in Tanzania in Egypt. I think it's Samalek that have actually made an official bid because, hey, Fiake is a bit skirmish. So those are apart from the preseason games that they have, which we've are so anticipating to see. First is the kits that we don't know. They're telling us 7 days left. Meaning if today is 7 days next week. But remember this weekend, on the 22nd, they're going to be in Tanzania playing Young ASC. That means we're still not going to be seeing the official cheese. So it's going to be interesting to see a lineup, who's going to be there. But I'm guessing this is preseason. I know I won't take it. He's very smart. So you won't exactly see the players that we would like to see. So me, Nyazo Zenza, my guess, he's going to be playing French players like Abu Sabulu Khate, uzobona bangenile kuMahlatsi. So he'll just play them. Maybe second half you'll see these new signings, Abu Castillo, Boomdu. They'll be given a run, but I don't think it'll give us indication of where the first lineup would be because it's going to be televised. At the same time, the second one is which is going to be, I think, in Botswana, Le Township Rollers. So I don't think we'll still see the full depth of what Kaiser Chiefs or what would be the starting lineup be. But what's interesting to see, we want to be able to see how they're going to be playing. But for me, I don't think the styling play is going to change much. In a sense where they've kept Uzwana. So we're hoping carpet football. I've watched a couple of videos in the sense of how Ntseki Polo would actually be faring. So carpet football is still something I'm hoping we are going to be playing, but we want to see, I think, more of finishing up with Zobanjani. Can they combine? Can they keep the ball a bit more? And can they share it? Because now they have experience. But that's all I can be able to talk about in regards to Chiefs this week because, there's not much to talk about apart from preseason preparations. Well, from Sundowns as well, they're leaving or they've left yesterday. They're going to the Netherlands for their preseason camp. As everyone knows at this point, they have 3 games. I think it's Rotterdam. I saw the other 2, I forgot their names. So again, like I said in the previous videos, this is something fairly new that teams like, obviously, they are the champion. So to me, it's interesting to see because, as I've said, we've watched the Pirates. Congrats to them. They actually won 2 of their games in the preseason. They're in Spain. So obviously it gives us an opportunity as well to see how these players are gelling in preseason, how are they preparing their team, their players, combinations, how are they adapting to whatever style of play. That is still the foundation basically for a Sundown. So those are the kind of fixtures or preseason games that we would like to see. It's very interesting because obviously being a champion, everyone wants to beat you. So we know that every DSTV Premiership game or team will be watching them very, very close, especially with the new signings that they've actually made. Bonito Mendieta has been given, he's been on in front of the camera 1 or 2 times. Lucas Ribeiro as well. So, yeah, very interesting. Pirates as well. Look, it's interesting. I've watched the game. They look very strong. I don't want to lie. They look very strong. Patrick Masongani, no Saleng for me. Those guys are my 2 picks. They're going to be a problem next season. Patrick Masongai, underrated. Engimbonile, underrated, that guy. They're playing well as a team, man. They're playing well as a team. At least now we've seen Umanko has been used as a left wing back this time instead of playing on the right. Monyane and Shandu, they're actually now competing in the right positions for the both of them. So it seems like they're in sync. And that's one of the things that you can expect in the TSTV. It's going to be tough. I don't think if Sundowns is going to challenge the league again, it's going to be a big problem for them. So watching these that game, the 2 games, they've won them, by the way, and they came from behind in the second game. So Pirates going into Africa as well, I mean, they're going to represent us well. So, it's very interesting to see in terms of how these teams are being prepared. Because trust me, you're going to be watching exciting football this season. But now to move on to what the video is all about. Terrence Djukamanja, very, very shocking. Pirates has actually released a statement where he had actually said that he wants to leave because he has family matters. I think he was sick or something like that. He's worried about his family. He's a Zimbabwean, so he went there, and all of a sudden, Supersport is inquiring about his services, meaning he used that opportunity to negotiate his way out or his exit. And apparently has actually signed a pre-contract with Supersport, surprisingly, because they felt that they were happy with him and they were willing to, by the looks of things, they were really offering to make extension because it seems like he's still in their plans. But it's very shocking how players are doing things now. My concern is when you go to another team, yes, probably playing style, Saga Kevin Hunt will suit him because Kevin Hunt plays long balls and crosses and all that. But I just hope, these teams, these big teams, like they have Umuti or something. I just hope things moving with way is his 29, his career. I hope he doesn't burn important bridges with what he's done. Similar to what Khama is doing. He's also Zimbabwean. Ukama said he was sick on the 29th. 30th, he didn't report to training. All of a sudden, he's disappeared. His agent, there's nothing that they're saying that is concrete. Even Maposa had actually had an interview where they still wanted to see if they can negotiate with him. In a sense where now we're hearing stories or rumors being reported that a Turkish club is actually willing to offer him the money that he feels is right for him. So meaning he's actually negotiating with other clubs in Europe. So you see this is the kind of thing. So for me, it's just to say to these players, the big teams, they have a good relationship with other teams as much as sometimes you feel like there's bad blood because obviously they also in the same competition with players and all that. But what happens when you don't have a good term in your new club? What happens? And you can't compare. And now the door is going to be closed for any other team that's going to be you want to. We've seen this thing happening. So Ukama as well, he's still MIA. We still don't know what's going on with him. Chiefs are still saying that they're not exactly sure. But since he's a free agent, he can do what he wants. But the courtesy that you can do is to say to us, guys, I'm not happy with the offer. Is it possible to renegotiate or please give me time so I can see other offers outside? Simple. That's what a professional does. You just tell your club at the moment, with the guys, the only offer and I'm not happy with, you're dropping my salary too much, or I feel like there's still much I can contribute. Yes, I am 32, but I feel I can contribute a lot. I've been with the club for so long. Same as with Djukamanja. That's all you need to do, guys. Unless maybe is it that bad? Do you really can't negotiate, or you can't talk to your clubs? You have a representative, which is your agent, who's supposed to speak on your behalf if there's any grievances that you have. So we don't know what's going on at the moment with those two. Another exciting thing, I think, is something to commend, which we've seen about Blom, Ubongokuhle Hlongwane has also gone to MLS. Cassius Mailula, Santan says they're actually negotiating with one team. Now, we've seen reports, I think Austin Tishobola has actually taken the cat out of the bag. Apparently, it's Toronto. So Toronto FC from the USA, it's MLS Club, which teams Abu Messi has been unveiled there. So he probably would be playing Abu Messi, Abu Busquets. So that's kind of good for him, for the boy, because it's only 20 years now. So the new signing, Tapelo Masego makes sense. Now, if that's the case, it makes sense. At least now we see, okay, Tapelo Masego would be coming in for Mailula, and hopefully he'll be liked the same way. But remember, the difference is, for me, Mailula was development yabo. So we hope he was going to be given time and not being transitioned. If that's the case, if he's going to be given minutes, that's not an issue for me. So it makes sense. So all the best to the boy. It's good to see young players, especially at this time, using MLS as a bridge. Obviously, we know the dream is going to Europe, and hopefully he can actually transfer the same form that he displayed last season to MLS. So yeah, so those are the things happening. Cassius Mailula is going to Toronto FC. They're just finalizing the deal. Terrence Djukamanja going to Supersport Billiat, unknown to the Turkish club, negotiating apparently closed doors. And yeah, I mean, what I wanted to leave you guys with from my side is, please don't, like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click on that notification bell. If you like the content as well, please leave your comments, tell me what you think. Tell me, let's have the conversation. First games, I want to leave you guys with Chiefs. Their first feature, the first game of the season, they're going to be playing against Chipa United. Sundowns is going to be playing against Sukukune United, which we're all going to be covering those games. And Pirates is going to be playing up against Stellenbosch. Very interesting. Chipa hasn't really given Chiefs much problems. But remember, they lost the first round of matches against them. Sundowns against Sukukune, they struggled as well. And Pirates have Vestelis, not really. But obviously, we just want to look at the new signings and formations and how they're going to be applying themselves. From your boy, Walter, again, that's all I have for you. See you next time on the next video. Thank you so much.